Hey guys, welcome back to Actually Adultish. My name is Christina Rice and I'm your host. I'm a holistic health coach living in Los Angeles. I am the creator of the blog addictedtolovely.com. I'm also the host of another podcast, Straight Up Paleo, if you're interested in listening to that. And I'm just really excited to be here today because I'm not by myself recording this. I'm across from someone you might remember from a long time ago. I'm here with Kailyn. Yay, Kailyn, you're back.
I am.
So if you're new to this podcast, Kailyn was, well, back in the day when we started this.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. There were three of us, and then it moved down to two, and then it's just been me for a while.
Yeah.
But when you left, I think everybody thought we were lying when we said that, like, nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
People still ask me, they go, what happened to that girl? Like, I can tell they're trying to get drama out of me, and I'm like,
nah, she just stopped.
Things faded.
Yeah.
Life, we don't live next to each other anymore. Yeah, so you can attest to the fact that we don't hate each other. We're still friends.
We hang out.
Yeah. One of my only friends is Kailyn. Yeah. So is it weird being back in front of a mic?
It is strange. It's very nostalgic.
Yeah. It's so last time we podcasted, we were probably in the floor of our room.
Probably.
And now we're on the floor of my studio apartment.
Yep.
And we have been baking all morning.
Literally all morning.
Kailyn has been the best taste tester. What was your favorite thing?
That I had, honestly, the mug cake was so good.
Made this amazing brownie mug cake. But I wonder if it's because it was like the only thing we had today was like hot out of the oven.
Yeah,
fresh.
That's true too.
Because everything else you had, like, I had made previously.
Yeah, but the samosas were really good too. If I had to choose one that was not hot,
the samosas
were good.
You guys are gonna be so excited. So those recipes are insane. But I wanted to bring Kailyn on to talk about relationships and things to do with that. So we have some things to say because she has had fun life experiences recently. But before I get started, I have to do a few housekeeping things. First of all, reminder that if you haven't already joined the Facebook group, Actually Adultish Podcast Nation, you absolutely must because it's just a really fun time in there. So definitely do that. And if you want to support the show, there are a few ways you can support the show. You can do your regular Amazon shopping through the link in the show notes on our website. It doesn't cost you any extra money. It just sends some of that money that you use to pay for your, what do people buy on Amazon?
Everything.
Yeah, everything. To buy your everything. Some of that money goes to the show, to me, to help support the production costs. And yeah, it's just really easy. You just do regular Amazon shopping. Or you can become a patron of the show. And you can become a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/actuallyadultish. And what that means is that you can pledge any amount of money you want to the show every month. So it can be $1, $5, $10, whatever you want to give. And it just shows me that you support the show and want me to keep doing it. And that way I can keep providing free content each week. So really excited. Another announcement is you can still sign up for my brand new 5-week program, Transitioning to the Paleo Diet for Women. I'm so excited about it, and there are going to be limited spots. A lot of people have asked me if I'm going to run the program again in the future, and I don't know if I am. So if you want to do it. Sign up right now. It's a virtual online class. So each week, we'll be on a live video training call with me. If you can't make it, you can still send in questions and we will make up for that in another way, and you'll get access to the recording afterwards, and you'll get weekly PDFs. But I think the best part is that you're going to be in the Facebook group with all the other women in the program, and it's a really great way to bounce ideas off each other, to get more support from me and other ladies, get good ideas, and just keep talking about it. It's going to be really fun. We're going to talk all about what paleo is, the benefits, why it's different for women. We're going to talk about a lot of women-specific issues, and we're going to talk about emotions around food as well, and weight, the elephant in the room, weight, calories, all of that, how to do things healthy, how to eat a whole foods diet in the right way, and We're also going to go over balancing hormones, and we're going to talk about making it a lifestyle. So movement, stress management, all of that jazz. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you're already eating a whole foods diet, if you're already eating a paleo diet, you will still get a lot of value out of this program. And if you're brand new to eating whole foods diet, then this is the perfect way to learn how to transition. You'll get all my grocery shopping hacks, my cooking hacks, all the fun things. So I'm really excited about it. And the price is going to go up each week. The class starts November 7th. So if you're interested, go to the link in the show notes or bit.ly/paleo women transition. It's also on my blog, addictedtolovely.com, under programs, and I would love to see you there. And if you have any questions about it, you can always email me. So super excited about that. Kailyn, you should join my program.
Yeah.
You get all my tips and tricks for free because you used to live with me, so you know. Oh, actually, guys, Kailyn's one of my clients.
Yeah, I am.
She's one of my clients. So that's fun. She fill out little forms for me.
Yeah, tell you everything about my body.
Yeah, I know all the ins and outs. But speaking of that, if you're a health coach or an NTP, a nutritionist, or you're just interested in wellness, then you should definitely check out my friend Amy's course, Digital Nomad Nutritionist. I've talked about it before, but it's an online course, totally self-paced, and she teaches you everything you need to know to turn that passion into a full-time business, work for yourself, work from anywhere. It's an amazing course. And she covers everything from finding your audience to making your website, making your personal brand, growing your email list, collaborating with other online nutritionists, everything. So it's really, really helpful. I know a lot of you have signed up and you've told me that you love it, and a lot of my friends have also taken it. So if you want to learn how to grow an online business, honestly, not even necessarily nutrition, any online business, you should check out this course because it's amazing. So you can go to bit.ly/digital nomad CR with a capital C, capital R, if you want to get $100 off the course. So definitely use that link. It's also in the show notes. bit.ly/digital nomad, capital C, capital R. Yes. Okay. I think that's pretty much all of my little announcements. So Kailyn and I are going to talk about relationships, and if we have to pause, sorry, we have brownies in the oven.
Yeah, we've got like 2 minutes.
Okay, we got 2 minutes. Okay, so yeah, we'll just go and then we'll stop in 2 minutes. Okay. So recently, Kailyn broke up with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Let me just preface with that.
It's been a few months now.
Oh, has it been?
Yeah.
Time flies. Okay.
I know.
Time flies. So Kailyn was dating this man child for how long?
Over 2 years.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And we all thought they were going to get married. Like, very much, right?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you just explain the situation?
But, okay, well, we've been dating for a really long time, obviously. Mm-hmm. We moved in together at the beginning of this summer. Mm-hmm. And the plan, my infamous plans, was to get engaged actually by the end of the summer. Like, I knew this.
She, like, knew the day.
Which is, like, sad, and that's a whole nother issue. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I knew this going into it. And, yeah, like 2 weeks before it was supposed to happen, I actually broke up with him.
Oh.
Yeah.
And did you go with him to pick up the ring? He had the ring.
He had the ring.
Like, did you go with him to buy it?
No, I didn't. But, like, we looked at rings together, and, like, I knew exactly what I wanted, and he, like, had picture. I knew exactly what it was, and he bought it and had it. And
so,
yep.
How? This is just, I don't even know. Okay.
It's like a movie.
Yeah, literally like a movie. So, how long in between? Oh, wait.
Timer. Brownies.
Guys, we gotta get our brownies. Hold on.
Brownie time.
Okay, guys, we're back. Brownies are good. Thank God. Because we made those three
Third time.
Yeah. Third time really is a charm.
They better be good.
Yeah, now we're waiting for them to cool. So we'll get back to the real issues here. So what were you talking about?
Stage is set, I think.
Yeah. So you went with, you knew about the ring, And
yeah.
you knew he was going to propose.
Knew when it was going to happen.
Yeah. Why don't you explain when it was going to happen?
So for my birthday, we were going to go to Disney World with my family. And my family knew about this. Like, they were behind it. Like, they helped him plan and whatever. And he was going to propose at Cinderella's castle in Disney World.
My dream. Can you guys tell that Kailyn and I have a lot in common? Disney.
And so, like, I knew that. No one explicitly told me, but, like, I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
And then after I broke it off, they told me.
Yeah.
But.
So that's awkward. And what... Yeah. And that was really weird because you did it literally, was it 2 weeks before?
Yeah. It was about 2 weeks before. So it was like the beginning of August.
Okay. And what happened? Okay. Why did you break up with him?
Okay. A lot of reasons.
Yeah, good. We have 45 minutes.
A lot of reasons. But like he wasn't good for me. And like I think I outgrew him and everyone around me saw that except for me. And I'm like the type of person where I'd rather just like not change, like not go through the pain or like the hardness of breaking it off with someone if it's easier. And I felt like he was so into it too. Like this like was his life. Like our relationship was the best thing in his life, which it was because he's a loser.
Oh my God,
and like
Kailyn,
that's my
don't
bad.
say that. No, he's just not for you. Okay,
No, he's not.
But so did he see this coming at all?
He says he didn't, but I don't know how he could have not. We fought constantly, and like right before I moved in, I like. This is the worst part. I knew it was bad and I just kept going.
I know. And I knew it was bad too. And I was like, I don't know. What the fuck was I supposed to do?
Right. Like tell me like Kailyn, break up with your boyfriend.
Well, because, usually I would, you know me, but like you guys were like literally going to get married. And this is how I felt. I felt like you just hated life. And he was like you would tell me that he was the only thing that you didn't hate, basically, because you hated school and you like, I don't know what else is there.
There's nothing else. Yeah, there's school is life right now.
But I would try and get you to do other things, but you wouldn't because it was like around him.
Yep.
Wait, are we avoiding using his name?
No, he's not gonna listen. Okay, he wouldn't care anyways.
I mean, I don't know about that. His mom might.
Oh, shit. We can give him a fake name.
I'm gonna slip. What should his fake name be? Gary?
Gary. Perfect.
Oh my
Stupid goodness,
Gary. Dumb name. I have an Uncle Gary. Sorry, Uncle Gary. Okay, no, I'm not using a fake name. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I remember one night you guys were like fighting and I knew it, but you were trying to hide it from me and you were like crying and then you went in the bathroom and I knew it. And I was like, I don't know if I should say something. And I was like texting Nina and I was like, okay, I know she's upset about Garrett, but I feel like if I ask her if she's going to talk about it, she's literally going to like kill me because you're the kind of person who like, I mean, I'm not scared of you, but I know you. And like, I feel like if you don't want to talk about this, I knew I would get like,
no,
I get yelled at. And I was like, I don't want to deal with this. So yeah, I don't know. So I felt like I knew, but I didn't want to say anything because it was already so serious. And it was like, you had your life set on it. And then in my head, I'm like, well, if I sit here and tell her, I don't think you should be in a relationship with him, she's going to be like, well, what the fuck else am I supposed to do with my life? Like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because literally your life plan at that point was like marry Garrett. Yep. Become a CPA and like make money. And like, that was life. Mm-hmm. But like.
Accurate.
That's not good enough for you.
No.
That's like not good enough. And the CPA part is.
Yeah, still doing that. Still doing the CPA and making money part. But like, no. And I think it was stressing me out just thinking about the future with him because it was all me like propping him up and taking care of him in some way. Mm-hmm. Like I was trying to plan his life too because he couldn't do it himself.
Yeah, and we're really young.
Yes, we are.
If you don't know how young we are, well, Kaylyn's younger than me. Are you 21? Yeah, it was your 21st birthday. Duh. And I'm 22. And like that is like you were a sophomore, junior in college, and like you were like, I'm marrying him and that's crazy to me because people change so much in their 20s. I feel like the most.
Yeah. Well, look at us.
Like we were talking about this on the phone. We're like literally like 3 months ago. Who was I?
Yeah. No.
Like it changes, and like I know in a year from now I'm gonna be totally different as well.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's crazy how much people change, and like
you grow up so fast.
I know, so fast, and I don't know. It's a lot, but the thing is, so. You like knew it deep down.
I knew it, and I think I knew it for like a really long time, which was like the problem. Yeah, because if you had asked me like objectively, like what type of person do you see yourself marrying, I would have said someone who's like driven, ambitious, nice, smart, college degree, like
yeah.
I don't know. Those are things that are important to me. And then if you like took what I said and applied it to like who I was actually dating, you'd have been like, none of those things are accurate. Why?
So why do you think you stayed with him?
Because it was easier than breaking up with him. It was easier to just like not say anything and just keep going with it. And especially the worst was when it started getting like out of control. Because once we decided to move in together, I didn't have a place to live over the summer if I broke up with him, which was like a really scary thing because it's like, for reference, like I was moving away from UCLA for my internship over the summer. So it wasn't, I had no family. I had no friends down there. I didn't know any of the interns. I didn't know anyone. So it was like, where am I going to live? Because like 2-3 weeks before we moved in together, like I remember calling my mom being like, I don't think I can do this. Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't, I don't know.
Yeah.
You got to tell me. And I should have like seen it because way back then, before we even moved in together, I was always like Googling like cold feet like articles and like things like that. And I'm like trying to convince myself that this is normal, or like, okay, this is horrible, or like things like not sexually attracted to my boyfriend. Like, what do I do? Like things like that. Yeah. And like all of those are such big red flags. Yeah. And like now I can't fathom like looking those things up. But like before I was like, oh my God.
I feel like
that's all I did.
In anything in life, if you're Googling it like that incessantly, you already know it's
and like a little piece inside of me like used to wish like he would see it, like see me Googling things like that and then break up with me, because then I'd be like, because I didn't want to do it because I felt like it was gonna have such a huge effect on him and not on me, and so I wanted him to be the one to want it, but that wasn't gonna happen, so I had to wake up.
If you guys haven't caught on already, the reason why Kailyn's on here is to talk about this experience so that you can learn from it, because this is something that so many girls struggle with, and there are so many people in my life who I just am like frustrated with because they're settling. Yeah. And so we're just going to talk about all these different lessons you should learn. First of all, don't settle. But like, for example, okay, moving in with him was a bad idea.
It was a horrible idea.
You don't need to move in. Okay. First of all, it's important to, in my opinion, these are all my opinions, right? Whatever. I just think it's so important to live with somebody before you marry them. Yeah. Like, or get engaged.
I agree.
Before you get engaged, that's what I mean.
Well, and I think honestly, like, I'm so glad we moved in together, because it was like, it was the trigger. Yeah. I was able to be like, oh my God, I need out of this right now.
And I have so many friends who are like, well, like those couples who literally spend 24/7 together and like they sleep over at each other's houses every other night. So it's like, and they're like, well, we basically live together. I'm like, no, it's still different.
It's different.
It's still different.
And I honestly think that was such a huge thing for him, because we were like that, like we'd spend weekends together or whatever. And you're like, oh, like it's the same thing. Yeah. But it's not at all. And like, you have to realize once you move in together, it's not all like fun date night weekends anymore. It's real life.
What are some of the things that were like annoying about living with him?
He always like expected me to be like super excited and like peppy and like
you're like not peppy.
No, and that was like, it was weird to me, because he's always like, are you in a bad mood? And I'm like, I'm doing my online homework, dude. What do you want me to be? I'm just hanging out. And also our lifestyles, like I like exercising. That's a thing. Like every day when I came home from work, I wanted to exercise, and that would always
I thought he liked working out.
No,
he doesn't.
He only got into working out because I was not into him. Oh, and like I think he thought like that would help. Yeah, but that's another thing. I'm sorry. I get it. Like, if you love someone, body, like, whatever. But, like, don't date someone you're not into.
Yeah.
Like, you can be into whatever you want. Like, fine. But
you have to be into them.
You have to be into
there's
them.
also that other thing where sometimes people, like, you do become attracted to them after you get to know them. You know?
That's true. I agree.
But in that case, you, like, actually become attracted to them. Like, if you never become attracted to them, despite their great personality, then you might like them more as a friend.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's exactly, it's like, yeah, like I really like being friends with you, but like not being in a relationship with you, which was, another
that was a shocker to me when you told me this. Like, I literally found out that you weren't sexually attracted to him, like, after you broke off.
Yeah. A few weeks ago, I told you, and you were like, what?
Yeah, I thought that he was like your type for like the past 2 years. This is what I thought. I'm so I don't understand. Like, okay, yeah, wow. So, okay, but why I don't know why I love you so much is that most girls, once they had gotten to the point you got to, would have thought, I'm too far deep.
Yeah.
Now I can't get out.
Yeah.
Whereas you were like, I'm really far deep, so I gotta get the hell out of here
right now.
Yeah, like literally right before an engagement. And I know so many girls who, they know it's not the right relationship, but because they've been dating him for however many years, or because he's gonna get engaged soon, or I know people who get engaged and then realize this isn't working,
and then it's even harder. Then it's even worse.
It's even harder, but it's also even more important.
Yeah, to get out then.
Yeah, because it's like, if you are not in love in a honeymoon stage right before you get married, what are you gonna do for the next 50 years?
Exactly. That, like, getting engaged and that year, that should be like, oh my god, I'm so excited, I can't wait to, like, that should be it. That should be fun.
Exactly.
But if you're not looking forward to that, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Very, very wrong.
Well, and it's like, okay, I know somebody who was dating this guy for 8 years, and then, like, he finally proposed. He finally proposed. Sorry, guys, running off 2 hours of sleep. He finally proposed, and then she didn't say yes right away. She was like, I need to think about it. And then I found out that she was, like, not sure if she wanted to marry him, and then she decided, okay, we'll get married. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the fact that you were, like, thinking about it, I'm like, that to me in my head, I don't even know this girl that well.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, that just means that you know that you're settling.
Yep.
And you're deciding, okay, do I get out now, or, like, am I too far in? Like,
yeah.
And this is the other thing. I think also age plays a factor into it. I think it's easier for us being younger, whereas I know a lot of older women who they feel like, this is my last shot. Like, where else am I going to meet
I'll die
someone?
alone.
Yeah.
Kind of mentality. That's no.
But what's funny is, like, I feel like you kind of felt like that too.
Oh, totally.
Like,
because I don't, like,
we don't talk to boys.
I don't do stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like, at school, I'm a student. Like, I'm planning on working. I don't know. I don't go to bars. I don't do stuff like that. And would I want to meet my husband there? Probably not. No. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was also that was a huge factor. Like, you don't want to be alone. And when you've been dating for so long, the idea of being single is, like, really weird and, like, scary.
You literally haven't been single in, like, 50 years.
50,
exactly 50 years. No, literally, what, like 4 years?
Probably ish.
Like,
not for longer than, like, a month or two or something.
Kailyn has this habit of dropping them and then picking one right back up.
Yeah. I don't like being single. I don't like it.
But the difference is, usually I hate people like that, but it doesn't bother me that you do it because I know you and I know that you're very secure with yourself. It pisses me off because a lot of girls do that because they don't know themselves. And they like can't be alone.
Yeah.
Versus I know you very well can be alone. Yeah. You just like don't need to be, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like totally different, or it's like, I'm sure you know who I'm thinking of.
Yes, I
just like doesn't know how to be alone, and it pisses me off, and I'm like, you need to be single and learn to love yourself.
Yep.
But besides the point. So this is funny though. Speaking of that, so basically you're in a relationship now.
Yep.
So how soon after you broke up with Gary did you pick up what am I gonna call him? I can't think of something.
Something clever.
How about Cole?
Cole. Okay. All right, Cole. Well, we didn't start, like, we started, like, actually, like, oh, are we this kind of thing, like 1 to 2 months after. But
how soon after you broke up with Gary did you kiss Cole, or did it overlap?
No, it didn't overlap.
Good.
Oh, no, I
thought I was gonna pull out some dirt out of you.
Oh my God, no, I would never do that. No, it had been a few weeks at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd been really careful because, okay, that was another thing. I met Cole while I was dating Gary.
Yeah.
And like while everything was falling apart with Gary. So here, okay. Okay, this is hard.
You can't say a serious sentence with the name Gary in it.
Like, who the heck calls themselves Gary? But I think a big part of why like everything started, like this huge catalyst started, was also because of the internship that I was doing. I was around people who were in relationships, like healthy, good relationships. And like everything I would say, they'd be like, yeah, that's not normal. You know, kind of thing.
Give me an example.
Like I would talk to the girls about, like, there was one girl who's like, I love her to death. She'll just tell you what she thinks, like straight up. And we were talking about, I think we were talking about sex. And I was like, yeah, like, don't really like it. And she's like, you need to break up with your boyfriend then. Like, that's not normal, Kailyn. You're 20 and like, you should be loving it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh my God. Big red flag.
Yeah. So things like that, or like the way they treated their girlfriends, or like things like that. I was like, oh, like I don't have that. Or how much they like respected their boyfriends or girlfriends, like how they always talked about them like really positively. And like with Gary, shit. I always felt like I was like holding his hand.
You were like his babysitter.
Yeah, I felt like we were like a mom. Yeah. Like I would like, oh, we need to do this now. Yeah. And like, you need to make sure you're doing this. And like,
and it was like a very bleak future. Like your future was laid out in front of you, and it was literally going to be like, Kailyn makes the money and supports somebody.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, dude, fuck that. Like, it's your money. Like, you shouldn't feel like you have to take care of a child right now.
And again, that was kind of the weird, like if you asked me what my ideal scenario would be, it would never, ever, ever be that. Yeah. It would be like, I want to marry someone who has goals and wants to be successful, and like they can do whatever, and I don't care how much money they make, but they better be like dedicated and passionate and like want to do something.
Yeah, and that was why it was so weird for me, because there was such a mismatch between you and like who you were dating. Like it made no sense to me, because Kailyn is very independent, very straightforward, very blunt, very driven, very motivated, going to like do a lot of important things, and like just one of the smartest humans ever. And she was dating somebody who really had no life motivation, and
his motivation was to please me. Everything he did was like, even
what would please you is if he got a job.
Yeah. Like
and went to school.
And like, and he just couldn't do it. Like,
yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah. The thing is though, down the line though, don't you think that would have caused major issues? Like I just feel like there's always major issues when one person is hand holding the other. Like in 10 years he would resent you so much, like,
and I'd resent him. It would be horrible. It'd be horrible. You need to be with someone who's like you in that area, because like if you're both self-motivated, you don't have to worry about like that. If you're both not motivated at all, you're not going to hate the other person for not being motivated. You know, like you've got to be with someone who's similar in that aspect.
That's why it's like, it's so funny, the whole opposites attract thing. But then it depends on the category, I think.
Yep.
But I mean, in psychology, we learn similar people are attracted to each other. So
yeah, which makes way more sense.
Yeah, it makes way more sense. But it's like, you can't be too similar. You have to be, because it also runs into issues if both people are like really type A, really driven, and need to be in control, that kind of person.
Yeah, then
and they're both like that. It's not going to work in that situation. Like for example, I cannot be with a guy who is like my way or the highway. Yeah, I have to be the one who's my way or the highway, and then he has to be somebody who's kind of like, all right, whatever, I'll go with it. You know?
Yeah.
That's just my personality. And otherwise I would feel like I was settling. But
that's fine.
Yeah. And so in that aspect, it is important to be a little bit different, but not in terms of like
everything.
Yeah. Like you need somebody who is going to keep pushing you.
Right. Constantly
further.
improving. Like I can't sit still. I can't be idle.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that if you hadn't met
Cole
this summer during the internship that you would have still broken up with?
We still would have broken up.
Okay.
I'm positive. Cole wasn't the reason.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think he helped you realize, okay, here's a guy that I'm actually really attracted to.
Yeah,
so,
no, definitely.
you know.
And that was another thing. I remember talking to my mom about this, and I was like, do you ever were you ever attracted to other guys? Like, even though, because like she's been happily married. They started dating when they were like in high school, and she's like, no. Like, I can like recognize that someone's like a good looking guy,
like objectively,
and like he's really cool and
yeah.
like would be a great catch or whatever. But I've never been like, oh man, I wish I wasn't like with your dad, or like, oh, I wish I was single or something like that. And that was me, and that had been me for a while. Like spring quarter of last year, I had a huge crush on a guy in like one of my classes, and I was like, you cannot talk to him because what if you start to like him? And then like, what are you gonna do?
Oh, was that the guy that?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
yes.
she told me about this. She was.
It was winter and spring quarter.
Oh my god.
And I was like, this whole, and I was like, after winter quarter, I was like, oh, like we won't take any more classes together.
Yeah.
Like he's gone, and then he like ended up being
up.
ended up being in a different class, and I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. And we were like in groups together and did stuff, and it was like, and I was really attracted to him, and like he was cool, and like I wanted to hang out with him, and so it wasn't Cole, and he would have and also I think what helped is like he didn't try to do anything or like
that would
say
have been
anything and I didn't either. I would not.
So what did you say? Like literally, what did you say when you broke up with Gary?
Okay, so
like I can't even imagine. Honestly, I want to like, my stomach hurts just thinking about having to go into that conversation.
Oh my god, I know.
You've been with somebody for 2 years and you're just gonna like sit down in a room and be like, okay, bye. Like
no, totally. So it happened kind of gradually because like pretty early on in the summer, I told him I think we should take like a break after Disney World. I said that.
After we get engaged, let's take a break is what she said.
Yep. Great planning.
Yeah.
No, but like I had talked about like pushing off the engagement and things like that, but like nothing was set in stone. But this was a conversation I kept having with him, and it kept popping up. And I remember like halfway through the summer, I went to Dallas for a conference thing. And when I got back from that, I told him like straight out, like, I don't want to get engaged. Like we can't, like I'm not ready. I don't want to. Like I think we should take a break. I think I should go back to school in the fall and like have some me time and like not worry about this kind of thing. And so I thought like, okay, maybe that'll help. Whatever. It didn't help. So then like 2 weeks later, I broke up with him, and it happened. I had just come home from work and I walked in the door, and I had like thought about it all the way home because I had like an hour commute and it was horrible. It was horrible, but I thought about it all the way home.
If
like,
you're not ready to break up with your boyfriend, don't sit in an hour commute.
Yeah. Oh my god. But I walked in and he wasn't there. And so like I went, but I was like ready because I was like, I had it in my mind. I was like, I'm doing it. Like I can't put this off anymore kind of like attitude. So I went in, he wasn't there. I was like, god damn it. I'm going to lose my confidence. I'm not going to do it. Like, I don't know. So I like changed. I was like doing homework or something. And he came in the room, and like we shared a room. We were living together.
Yeah.
And he had been golfing with like his friends or something. I don't even remember. And he like came in, he was like, hey, how's work? And I was like, we need to break up.
Settle, Kailyn.
I had no.
So
and
subtle.
And I think he kind of looked at me. He was like, what? And I was like, we're breaking up. I can't do this.
Oh, shit.
And then he said like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah.
So
I'm like, why
like,
now?
mad.
He got mad.
Okay.
He got angry. Like the actual conversation when we broke up, because we talked for like an hour. And there was like, on my side, there were no tears or like, I didn't lose my cool, even though he lost his, but not like sad, like anger, like just straight out anger, and like asking me why, like keep asking me like things like, is there someone else, or is it me, or like what should I do, what can I do, like blah blah blah. And I kept like, no, like this does not feel right no matter what I do. I've tried to make every change possible, like on my behalf, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you. Like we're done.
Yeah.
And then it was weird. It was really weird. It was a hard conversation.
Do you think that you would have done it at the same time had you not known about the engagement? Or do you think you would have? Do you think that pushed you to be like, okay, I need to do it before I know he's engaged? Like, gonna. Yeah. Because what if you hadn't known, and so you had like been like, I'll just do it after the trip, and then he popped the question.
That would have been bad.
That's why you never wait, you guys. Because what if he just pops the question?
I think so.
Also, why are you getting engaged so early? You haven't even graduated college. He was so eager to like lock it in because I feel like he knows like
it was never me. Shot. I was never the one driving it. Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't saying no either. Yeah. I'm not saying that it wasn't my fault.
You're just like whatever.
It wasn't me who was like, oh my God, like I can't wait to marry you. Like things like that. Like I was not sending those signals. Mm-hmm. But when he was talking about it and like I didn't shut him down or anything, and like I looked at rings that he showed me and like gave him my opinions and stuff, and so I knew like I was encouraging it, but I think that was his thing. He's so insecure that he wanted to make sure, because he knows me. Once I'm engaged, I wouldn't be the type of person to break off an engagement. And so he knew like, oh, I'd lock her in and we're good. And this is the same person who gave me a promise ring a month after we started dating.
Yeah. Okay, I want to go back to that statement. So you said you're the type of person who wouldn't break off an engagement.
Yeah.
So what, like, are you like, do you genuinely feel that way? Like if you were engaged to him and then you realized it was wrong, like it wasn't.
No, but I think this is kind of proof of like, I don't think I would get engaged to someone who
exactly.
I wouldn't.
Because I want to talk about this issue. If you're engaged to somebody and you know it's wrong, it's going to be hard, but you got to get out.
Yeah.
You got to get out.
And I know, like, for me, part of the reason I pushed it off so long was a lot of it was, like, the shame of, like, people reacting to it. Mm-hmm. Because everyone knew we were going to get engaged.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knew. Our families knew. All of our friends knew. Mm-hmm. People at work knew. Like, there was no one in my life who didn't already, like, know that was happening.
Yeah.
And like, how do you...
Oh, yeah.
How do you explain it out? Like...
I was talking to my friend and she was telling me how her best friend was engaged to this guy and they got divorced literally a month after getting married.
Oh my God.
And she was saying, we all knew it was wrong. And my best friend after the divorce was like, I knew, like, she was like, 2 days before the wedding, I knew that I was going to be miserable, but I just felt like I couldn't stop it. And like, that's such a bad, just stop it. Like you have to do it.
I think the thing is you have to be really, really selfish for a day. You have to break up and like tell everyone, sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
this is just what I want. And it's hard for certain types of people like to do that.
Why? Do you think it's because of do you think that a lot of people settle because I just feel like everyone freaking settles. Like, do you think that people do this because they're worried about what other people are gonna think? Like, I know it's both, but mainly how other people will react or because they're afraid of being alone.
I think it's both. I also think it's something. I have a theory that like if you don't like view yourself very highly, like if you're not a super confident person or like I don't know. Like, I wouldn't describe myself as, like, a cocky person or, like, someone who likes to, like, talk about themselves a lot or, like, do things like that. Like, if you're not like that, being with someone that you know you're settling with is weirdly comforting. Mm-hmm. Because you don't have to worry about, like, if I'm with someone who, like, fits all of my, like, check boxes, like, perfect guy, I'm scared, like, the risk of losing him, like, is that worth? Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Because you're not going to put yourself out there.
Exactly. Like, the fear of, like, letting yourself have the chance at like the perfect person at the risk of getting really hurt. Like, what if you do find your perfect guy and then he leaves you? Yeah, that would suck. Yeah, but it's obviously better.
Yeah, and there's also always the thing where it's like, but he's so nice and he's like just my type and like, but like all these reasons why, and like even if he checks off all the boxes, it's like it doesn't matter.
Sometimes if you don't feel it, you don't feel it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, if they don't have like a reason, like a concrete, like, oh, he cheated on me, or oh,
they feel like
he's moving to Chicago, they feel like, well, I have nothing to go off of. Because that was a big part of my thing, was like, I'd just go and be like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And you have no reason. And when they asked, they're like, well, what did I do?
Yeah.
You didn't do anything. Like, for someone else, you're going to be totally fine. But it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And not having something to like throw it behind makes it way harder.
Yeah. I think that's such a good point. It's like, I think that people just ignore the signs, or it's like, okay, but this is where it gets hard. It's like, how do you tell the difference between things that are just part of being in a relationship and working through them, you know, versus like, I don't love him. You know, I'm not in love with him, because you can also love him but not be in love with him is another issue.
Absolutely.
You know,
and I honestly, I think that was me the entire time. I don't think I was ever in love with Gary. But which is fine. Yeah. But like, you have to be really self-aware to realize it or admit it to yourself.
Yeah. But like, so for example, when people are like fighting with their boyfriends a lot, you know, it's like, how do they know like this is actually just like not gonna work versus like we're having a fight? Because in you're not gonna, in the perfect relationship, you will still have fights. You know,
fights happen.
Yeah, like that's just part of like being around somebody
right
all the time. So, you know, because I think what happens is like people use it as an excuse to like, they're just like, this is just part of being in a relationship. And I'm like, no, these fights are like, you fundamentally have differences in your ideals.
Right. And I think that's kind of where you can tell that line. Like, is it a recurring fight? Is it something that keeps coming up? Is it something that like you're never going to change and they're never going to change? Because if it is, that's a crack in your relationship. That's not just oh, he didn't do the dishes tonight and I snapped and we're fighting kind of thing. Like, it's a big issue.
Unless he's like the type who's like, I'm the patriarch and woman always does all cooking and cleaning and I don't help. You know, some guys are like that. And I'm like,
I do.
Well, then we can't.
I never cook.
I'm like, well, then we can't. You know, this is the thing. Somebody said that to me, because I gladly will do I will gladly do it all, but the second somebody tells me like you have to do it, I'm like,
that's the
I'm difference. Like, fuck you. I'm doing it because I like to, not because I'm ordered to and I'm the woman.
Yeah.
Like, who cares if I'm the woman? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So how did your family and like other people react?
Not well at all. I mean, like, when I told my parents, like
your dad was happy.
My dad was thrilled.
Okay, yeah.
My dad was like, because I knew this. Yeah. I knew this was gonna happen. Haha, like, I'm proud of you, kind of thing, which was fine. But my mom was like, I could tell she like wanted to be happy for me, but the stress of it, like, I feel like she was mad at me for doing it when I did it.
Oh.
And like how I did, because like,
what did she want you to do?
Well, it was like she went through all this like planning an engagement and like everyone knew, and so now she has like, here's the thing about being selfish is like, I just needed to do it for me, but in like for her, she went to work and had to tell all of her friends like, oh yeah, my daughter like changed her mind, now this is all happening, and like it's this big like weirdly scandalous thing for some reason.
That's that's why it gets so dicey when it's like, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, won't break off the engagement because, well, that's going to affect my mom's.
Yes.
My mom will be embarrassed.
Yeah. Her life will be.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't care if your mom's going to be embarrassed. Like, she'll get over it. She'll be more embarrassed if you get divorced in 3 months, you know?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. No, I know. And when I was home later, I saw some of my mom's texts to her friends.
Oh shit, what did she say?
And she was like complaining about me about it. She's like, oh, Kailyn like broke up with a boy, like blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, like, I thought this out. I didn't just spontaneously like, this was like, I tried, man. Like, I tried harder than I should have tried to like salvage the relationship, but like, she was irritated and like, I don't know, people didn't really, my friends were like super fine, and like most of the people that I told, like friends who like actually knew me, were like, oh, So it finally happened. Kind of attitude and less of like, oh my God, really?
I was like, I like felt this like weight lift. You're like a completely different person.
I know.
He was literally making you like bitchy.
Yeah, for
because you were just like irritated all the time. But it was so
like an angry person.
Yeah, you were just a generally angry person, which was confusing because you were just like, anytime I would be like, let's do this, let's do that. You're like, no, I want to hang out with Garrett. Like all I want to do is go to Garrett's this weekend. Like I just need to get to the weekend so I can. Oh fuck, Gary. Whatever.
If someone got this far in the episode, they deserve to know. It's
matter. Fine. You know, like, so because you kept saying like he was the only thing that made you happy, right?
Right.
And then you break up with him, and I could literally just tell on the phone within the first 3 minutes. I was like, what happened? Because she sounds like she's on cloud nine. You sound like somebody is supposed to sound right after they get engaged.
After I broke up with him.
Yeah, you were just like so much like happier and like, I don't know. And like now you are a totally different person. Like you like go out and do things.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. And like and I think that's also hard is, okay, this is what I want to tell people. I don't care who you are. You cannot ditch your friends for a boy. It's very important to always maintain friends and hang out with friends. Because this is what happens is people only spend time with their boyfriends and they feel like not only if I break up with them will I not have a boyfriend, I will not have friends. I'll have literally nobody.
Yeah.
You know? And like almost like you with the living, it's like, where am I going to live?
Yeah.
Like, who am I going to do stuff with? Like, then at that point, I'm truly 100%
trapped.
Yeah. That's scary, which is why it's just better to not get in that situation at all. But if you're in that situation, you just got to get out and make the most of it.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And you need to really listen to like the little voice in your head. Mm-hmm. Like, that sounds so cheesy, but you need to listen to your gut because every step along the way with him, it was like, oh, we're moving in together. I always was like, no, this is a bad idea. Yeah. But I'm going to ignore that. And I'm going to look up some article that tells me that cold feet before moving in together is normal and I'm fine. Yeah. And I'm just going to do it anyways kind of thing.
I think also another thing is people get comfortable in relationships and they get comfortable in their general life. And I think it's just important in your general life to always be doing new things. Like, for example, if you hadn't done that internship, done something new, met all those new people, things would be really different versus like you're not going to see any other hope for the future if you are just every week doing the same thing. You hang out with your boyfriend. You guys go to the same restaurant. You go here to study. You never do anything different. You never try hanging out with a new group of people. You never try going to just a new place, like just any new experience at all, you know, like you were saying new you're stuff. Just like you like basically found your people, you know, like you were like, because before you just like hated everybody at school and then you found people who you had a lot in common with.
Well, and I think that's like the thing, especially with Garrett, whatever, like isolation was his like tool that worked because I was never at UCLA when like I could have been hanging out with people.
Yeah.
Because like
when people were doing social things, you were gone.
Right. And so like even the friends that I had, like Chandler or like you or whoever, Claire, like anyone, like I would say no to because I was leaving.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Kailyn literally had to stop podcasting because she had to leave every weekend.
Yeah, because we podcast on the weekend and I was never here. So it was like, well, I guess this isn't happening anymore.
So that was, I'm like really glad. I just love you so much for your courage to not settle, and settling is such an issue. Okay, I want you to just like say, if you're talking to a girl who is in a relationship and about to get engaged and she like doesn't know, like just what do you have to say to her? Or not about to get engaged, just in a relationship, like how does she know if something's wrong, something's right? What should she do if she might be a settler, you know?
Honestly, have an honest discussion with yourself. And like what I did when I like realized it, I literally made a pros and cons list of like breaking up with him.
I mean, I think that's a good idea,
like
honestly.
When you see it on paper, you're like, wow.
Do you think it helps or hurts to have somebody on the outside be like, you need to break up? Because some people get defensive and that makes them like not want to because they're like, I don't want them to know that I know they're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other people like need to hear it. Like,
I think it depends. Yeah, it totally depends on the person. But regardless, like if you're gonna do that, like the way you approach it is very important.
How would they approach it?
Like something that would have worked for me is like if someone like keeps asking me questions about it and I have to like answer it myself and like hear the words coming out of my mouth kind of thing, that's when I would realize it. But if they came up to me and said like, oh, he's wrong for you because of this and this, then I'd just shake it off and like come up with an excuse.
Yeah. Well, that's like why I never wanted to say anything to you, because then I thought if you ever were I wanted you to feel like you could dump on me if you needed to. Like I didn't want to close off because I didn't want it to be like I just be like, Kailyn, he's not good for you, and then say you're having a problem with him and stressed out. In your head you'd be like, I don't want to talk to Christina because I know what she's gonna say.
Right. Exactly.
You know, like so that's why I was like, and that was gonna be my question, like what would your reaction have been if I one day like I was like, Kailyn, I think you could do a lot better?
Honestly, I don't know. Yeah. Like I've had this conversation with my parents before, because it always like after we broke up and my dad was just like, oh yeah, like big shocker kind of attitude. I was like, why didn't you ever say anything to me? Because like people like my parents or like you or like really good friends, like if they had said something, it would have mattered more than like if
but then it's like I risk closing you know, like, and then it's I don't know.
When it gets that deep, I think is when you just go for it.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, did I do the wrong thing in not telling you when I knew that you were going to get engaged? Should I have told you?
I don't know. Sometimes I wish you had. But like, I mean, I figured it out. Yeah. Thank God.
Well, I'm curious. It's like, did you genuinely not realize that like I thought that?
No, I mean,
I feel like you like knew that. I'm not like that subtle.
I knew that pretty much everyone who had met him like didn't understand why I was with him. Yeah. But I always wrote that off as kind of like, oh well, we've been together for so long. We've been through so much. Blah 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 blah. But it's like what I keep going back to. It's like, if you knew me and you knew the things that I liked and things I respected and like put together what you think my boyfriend would be like, he was never those things. Yeah. So it was kind of like once they met him, they'd be like, oh, that's weird. Not what I imagine, kind of thing.
I guess I'm just asking for like, maybe someone's listening and they have a friend or a sister or a cousin who is like in a similar situation like me, right? I'm like, what do I do? Like, you know, I don't know what that feels like. You know?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if it's getting this close, you just say something. Yeah. Because, okay, say they do shut you off. Fine, they're going to go through with it anyways. But at least you tried.
I think it's important to always be really nice to the guy. And if you're going to say something, be like, don't just be like, I don't think he's the best for you, but like if he makes you, you know, like,
but if he makes you happy,
it's really important not to like have a closed off conversation. Like, he sucks. Like, he's not right for you. Like, I'm pissed. Yeah. Like, you need to break up. Like, you can't tell, you can express your opinion, but not, or this is my tactic, depending on who it is. Honestly, it's like just, I mean, with you, I was like always really nice to him. Like, I had no problem with him because it wasn't like he was a bad person. Right. Just like, I just didn't, like, you could do so much better. And it was like, I felt like in my head, I'm like, Kailyn knows what I think, right? Yeah. In the back of her head. So I don't need to say anything. Yeah. Versus like, if there was somebody who I thought genuinely doesn't know what I think, then I would say it straight up.
Yeah. No, I think that makes fair. Sense. Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay. Well, this has been hopefully insightful for people. Basically, moral of the story.
Yeah, key takeaways.
Key takeaways. Don't settle. It's never too late to back out. Be selfish. What else?
Listen to your gut.
Listen to your gut. You only got one life to live, man.
Honestly, like I read somewhere, this resonated with me because I think it's really true. Like if you think like, oh, you know, maybe we should break up. Like if that thought crosses your mind, like hold it there. Yeah. Hold it there and like 24 hours later think again. And if you still feel that way, then do it. Because like if you're thinking that way after a fight, then sure, like it might not be it. Or if you're really emotional, or like you had a horrible day and like he pissed you off or something, whatever. But like if you have a full day and you still feel that same way, don't stop waiting, because you're just gonna like take that time to talk yourself out of it.
Yeah. I also think that I think that's a really great point. I also think that breaks are underrated, because it's like, I feel like people think that if they break up, like they can never
Interact
like that's
again.
it. And I'm like, but you could get back together. That's why it's like you're not married yet. You know, like, also, what do you think? This is my last thing, and then we're gonna wrap up. Because we have brownies to do things with. But what do you think should be protocol for people after they break up? Because this is the issue. A lot of settlers, they break up and then they talk to him and then they get back together with him in a month.
Because obviously, if they waited that long, my personal philosophy is like cold turkey, pretty
Just
much
cut it
like
off.
cut it off. Like, it's nice to be able to think like, oh, maybe we can be friends, but at least a month of like nothing. I mean nothing.
Yeah, and definitely if like you were the one breaking up. Like, I think it's different. You know, some couples, like, things are both fading on both sides, and then like it's like a mutual, you're like, you both are just like, not anymore. Not. So no one's trying. There's no potential for somebody to try to get back.
Right. And I think when it's mutual like that and you both are like, oh yeah, like no one's resenting the other person. No one's like, oh, maybe I can change their mind. Because the person who's getting dumped, like if they still want the relationship to happen, like if you even just to check in on them or something, they'll read into it and be like, oh, they still care, like blah, blah, blah. There's still a chance. And then it's no. Yeah. Stop everything. No texting, no calling, no just nothing. Literally nothing. Don't see them.
I agree.
Stop it. Not allowed.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad we had this conversation, because this topic is something Kailyn and I both feel strongly about, and I'm so proud of you.
Yes, thank you.
I'm so proud of you for breaking up when you knew it was the right thing, and I'm so happy because I feel like I got you back. I feel like I got your personality back. Like, you like have so much life to you.
Happy Kailyn's back.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Any last words for our listeners?
No, just you do you.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make everyone happy.
Yeah, who cares?
You're allowed to break up with someone.
I know. Like, you're going to have to live with it the rest of your life. So at that point, who cares if your mom's friends
there you go.
It's
what's
scandalous.
worse? One horrible day of a breakup or 60 years of a horrible marriage?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, no. Well, it was so fun having you back.
Yeah, this is fun.
So weird.
I know.
Throwback.
It's weird.
I like having you on the other mic, though. We should do this again sometime.
We should. Something else.
Cool. Okay, well, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you got some good tips out of this. Sorry if you want to break up with your boyfriend now. Sorry, not sorry.
Go do it right now. No
but
excuse.
yeah, we just like to keep it real. So if you haven't already, please subscribe on iTunes. It's free. Please leave a rating and review if you would like to do that as well. And that would be great. So I would like to thank you again for listening. If you made it to the end, congrats. And I'll talk to you again next week. Bye.
Bye.